Previously on PBC Fight Camp. I'm destroying the legend of Manny Pacquiao on July 20th, and my legacy begins.
My opponent saying a lot of useless words before the fight.
Nice. 10 days we just go 3 minutes up. That's what I know he's say.
We're gonna win this fight. Guarantee it. Come on, champ.
As soon as I hit him one time, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hit that respect button real quick.
I just don't want any excuses. July 20th.
Come on, champ. Go.
Oh, man, you think I'm gonna let Manny Pacquiao touch this face?
This is Fight Camp.
This week, or this episode, I'm going to give you a break. I've been reading the comments. So, I've been covering Manny Pacquiao fights for years. So let me tell you what's going to go on first, before I start talking my shit. The episode just went off. I'm going to rewatch it, and we're going to talk about, and I'm going to play some of the key clips. No, I can't play you the full episode. That's called copyright infringement. But however, I can provide you with a recap. We can talk about the fight. And I've been getting a lot of shit for saying that Pac versus Thurman is 50-50. Is it not 50-50? Oh, I'm supposed to just, Manny Pacquiao was going to win. And I understand, I've been dealing with it for years now. Read some of the comments on my previous Pacquiao versus Thurman videos. They're like, black guy. Of course he's going to go with the black fighter. This is not that channel. I've never been, but my job is to give all fighters a fair shake. And this video, I'm going to cut you a break. Because I did troll you the first 2 videos I did. Well, 3. PBC face-to-face review, PBC Fight Camp episode 1. Because I knew y'all was going to be like that. So I said, let me start off my Pac Thurman coverage with, heavily, really promoting Thurman. Not propaganda or not being biased, but saying, Thurman is nice. With wins over Sean Porter and Danny Garcia after a year layoff in between. Jose Zito Lopez, gave him some issues. 2-year layoff. Luis Collazo punched him in the stomach. Manny Pacquiao will probably be the fastest at 40 years old. So let's digress. I'm going to watch the episode, come back with some key facts and highlights, and we're going to talk 50-50 fight. But we're also going to talk about how Manny Pacquiao can win and what he should do to win. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live with FightView360.com. Please subscribe. It's going to be some jump cuts.
Set on over 4,000 acres of land, trails, wildlife, and its historic observatory. Griffith Park is one of the largest parks in North America. Senator Manny Pacquiao and his small team have been running here for nearly 2 decades, entertaining his own little entourage.
It was Sunday. My first day in Tokyo was a Sunday. We hit up a bar, and she was the bartender that night.
Yeah.
So I walk up drunk, and then...
It was very funny. He was, teasing me. He was flirting.
Shame on you, Thurman.
All the time.
Hard.
And I was like, you talk too much, man, But he was being really, really sweet.
Yeah, that's his wife. He dropped out of high school, but you can tell he's a very mentally enlightened individual. Also, very high ring IQ. Now, of course, Manny Pacquiao has the experience. Manny Pacquiao doesn't want to get caught like he did against Marquez. I don't think he would ever allow that. He literally walked into the punch. Kieth Thurman is a very dynamic puncher, but not a combination puncher. If Manny Pacquiao really wants to move or decides to move, he should cruise to a victory. But depending on the trading, he does not want to trade with Kieth Thurman. Oh, by the way, I laughed at one comment where somebody was like, in my last video, I was saying Manny Pacquiao hasn't fought someone as young and in their prime as Kieth Thurman, and somebody was like, what about Adrian Broner? Yeah. I mean, look, right? By the way, here's the undercard. This is a nice undercard, by the way, too. Efe Ajagba versus Ali Aaron Demirezin. Caleb Planton versus Mike Lee. That's going to be on Free TV Fox here in the States. And also over in the UK, it's going to be on ITV for like 14 quid or something, like pounds or whatever. The pay-per-view is likely going to open up with Sergey Lipinets, John Molina, Luis Nery, Juan Carlos Payano, and I think it's safe to say that Yordenis Ugás versus Omar Figueroa is going to be the main event. So let's look at this, right? 40 years old is different in this day and age of modern medicine. Manny is not your average 40 years old, 8th division world champion. This is a special fighter. He's special. You can't take that away from him. He's special. 61-7-2. 70 fights. Crazy. It's his 71st fight. Adrian Broner, Lucas Matisse was on his net. This is in no way shitting on his opponents, but we got to play devil's advocate. We got to look at both sides, right? Lucas Matisse was damaged goods. I'm sorry. Jeff Horn, Manny Pacquiao did not take Jeff Horn seriously. Manny Pacquiao barely had a training camp. He just walked off the street, you know, and just fought Jeff Horn. And Jeff Horn just was trying to bully him. And in my opinion, Manny Pacquiao still won that fight. Barely, but he won. Jesse Vargas was a solid fight at that time, but Manny Pacquiao just too good. Timothy Bradley, those 3 fights, see, I never had Timothy Bradley win in the first fight. You dig me? So I really didn't care too much about those fights. And well, Floyd Mayweather, despite what you may think of the holding and shit like that, Kieth Thurman is not going to hold, by the way. And if he does decide to do that holding shit, that's not his fight style. You know, he's not like a punch and grab type dude. So we should see some exchanges, but like once again, we don't want to see Manny Pacquiao in the pocket. But let me shut the fuck up. I got to get back to the episode.
I gave her my number at the end of the night. I was expecting a phone call.
We'll be back.
Never got the phone call.
He handed it to me like this, you know. So I thought it was a trash. And then I threw it in the dustbin, right?
That was my bad.
I'm so motivated for this fight because of all the trash talk of my opponent. I don't know if he's just promoting the fight or he's just trying to intimidate me. The left uppercut. The signature.
He's promoting the fight. I mean, come on. You know, people get too sensitive, you know, promoting the fight, especially if you know the character and demeanor of Kieth Thurman. You know, nicest guy you'll probably ever meet if you meet him in person. But in this case, being on pay-per-view, especially in this day and age where pay-per-view is dying. Years ago, this would have been a million pay-per-view fight. The fighters got to be showmen, especially with Manny Pacquiao. You know? And guess what? It's working because you want to see Kieth Thurman get his face smashed in, right? So what if they just was all buddy-buddy and nice and everything? Nah. They're going to hug it up and talk and everything, you know. Fucking Kieth Thurman's going to go drive his BMW with his beautiful wife and go eat, you know, avocado jam. I like it so far. And Fight Week is going to be very interesting because I want to see, you know, how far Kieth Thurman's going to take it. Now, he usually, you know, like looking, if you remember what happened with Kieth Thurman and Angel Garcia, it's one of the highest, if not the highest viewed video on this channel where, you know, Angel Garcia was like, you called Kieth Thurman, you bitch ass nigga. So they thought that Angel Garcia, or a lot of people thought that Angel Garcia was being racist, but in reality, it's like it was slang. The point I'm trying to make is this. So far, the fight is trending pretty well. This is the best undercard I've seen, especially for a pay-per-view, in God knows how long. I'm expecting 500,000 pay-per-view buys. And as long as Manny Pacquiao, so for example, he's going to be saying here how he, let me see if this is the part.
Thurman, what's up? Like I told him that I've been in boxing more than 2 decades, 28 years in boxing. And do you think somebody can intimidate me?
Yeah. But earlier in that segment, if you go watch the episode, he was talking about how, you know, he don't feel like 40. He's still fast for 40. And he is. And a highly skilled and better boxer than he used to be. So the question is, can he outbox Keith Thurman? If he doesn't get into a slugfest or trade, you know, or try to beat Keith Thurman off of punch value, can he outbox him? Or what if Keith Thurman gets on the bike and try to be a counterpuncher and try to set Manny Pacquiao up for a knockout like Juan Marquez did? I'm not saying Manny Pacquiao's going to allow that to happen. But again, 50-50 fight. We're going to finish out the episode, probably last jump cut. How much time we got left? About 10 minutes or so. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Please subscribe. I'm going to be putting out more high-quality content very, very soon. As you can see, things have been doing really well on the channel, but kind of slow a little bit. Working on something. Podcast is coming. And frankly, a lot of my videos are a little too much for YouTube, so I may have to be go over to Patreon, where we'll be able to watch these full episodes together. Ooh. Be back.
He missed me and I missed him. He apologized for me not being at the last fight. He thinks that he can do both. And he said, but the thing is, you were right in a way, because I do need a certain amount of time off to get ready for the fight. Keith Thurman, I watch tapes. I don't look for mistakes ever. I look for habits, and he has a lot of bad habits. And habits are something they can't get.
Freddie Roach fighters haven't been doing very well, by the way. Sheesh. But, you know, trainers go through that, you know, where they'll have like a really good, stable things going well, then things just go. I mean, look what's going on with Abel Sanchez, former trainer of Gennady Golovkin. But, yeah, this is something to discuss. So, after the Jeff Horn fight, Manny Pacquiao stopped working with Freddie Roach because Freddie Roach is saying pretty much he told Manny Pacquiao he couldn't do both, be a congressman and boxer, just was too much. You know, because as we talked about earlier, he really didn't put his whole full life, as you should, especially when it's so much at stake in your life, too. When you get into the ring, you want to be fully focused. So, especially a lot of people felt he should have just outschooled and classed and stopped Jeff Horn. But once again, he didn't take the fight seriously. So, now Manny Pacquiao's schedule is like this. He can fight twice a year, but in like pockets. So, for example, as soon as this fight is over, he gets about a week off, and he got to go back over to the Philippines to work. And another interesting fact is, during election time, a lot of the what do you call them again? Other hopefuls, you know, that he's running against, they get upset because they like, yo, he gets unfair publicity to get votes because he's Manny Pacquiao. For example, I've heard, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but could he be the Filipino president one day if he's like 50, 60 years old? Like, isn't he like that powerful now in the Philippines? Correct me if I'm wrong. But he's got some major stroke over there, especially being very close friends with the president of the Philippines. So, after this fight, win or loss, he's still going to fight another fight. Hopefully he doesn't get brutally knocked out. I'm just scared, man. Can I be motherfucking scared? Shit. I don't want him to lose. Because you got to think, like, it's the end of an era. I don't want that. I want him to keep fighting. I was hurt when Klitschko retired. Still think he's coming back, but I know when Manny's really, really going, he's going to be going for good. I don't think I can handle that, man. But after this fight, he's going to come back probably, I think, between December and January. Or how does it work over there in the Philippines? After the holiday break, he can come back for a fight? I mean, he'll have to have camp during, like, the holiday break of the politicians over there. So it's like January. It's a really small pocket of time he can fight, but it has to be like in, like, I think they said either it has to be in December or January. But I think January, like they did with Broner, is more ideal. So we could see, you know, possibly two fights from Manny Pacquiao in 2020. One goodbye fight. Final jump cut. We'll be right back.
always taking care of himself. At 40 years old, to maintain his hand speed, his power, his agility, it's just a testament to...
I heard that, you know, like if you ever chilling with Manny, like in his crib or like in his entourage, that like at random points through the day, he just be like, all right, come on, everybody, we got to pray. Or like you'll have like music time and he sing to you. Yeah, so we're wrapping up this episode. Let's skim through a little bit. 8 minutes left. The next episode is going to be next week, the 15th, Sunday at the same time, well, 4 p.m. Eastern. As you can see, look at the time. Look how much it's changed since the since I first started the video. Fucking phone calls, phone ringing. I'm cooking at the same time, trying to get through this episode. Slater, what are you doing, Slater?
We're packing that punch with some good food and some good nutrition.
Eating good, eating clean.
What's Slater doing
It's
there?
been my team for years. I was here when Manny arrived. Hey, I know this guy. Oh, boy. Friends, long time, big boy. Yeah. I knew Manny before he was a champion, before he was a politician.
All right, Slater.
As far as where, you know, in watching Thurman fight, he's a smart fighter. I think the longer it goes, believe it or not, the better it is for Manny. And I think Manny's going to try to pace things early and catch Thurman in certain spots. I see this bout going the distance. So how...
I do see it going the distance as well. This is going to be the commentator for the fight. Also, this is what I'm going to be doing. Next week, actually this week, they're having media calls. Manny Pacquiao's having a media call and Keith Thurman's having a media call. I expect for Keith Thurman's media call to be highly entertaining. Manny Pacquiao, well, you know, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live with FightView360.com. Please subscribe.